Hi guys, welcome to another video. Olive here, and in today's video I would be teaching us the difference between the delete, truncate and drop statements in SQL. Yes, they seem similar but they aren't, and that is why I am here today to explain further and show with an analogy the differences between these three statements. So without further talking, let us go in and get started. Welcome back, guys. So I drew these two things in order to explain this statement. So I'm going to use this wardrobe as an analogy, and obviously this thing that I drew right here. Okay, so let's just get started, and we're going to start with the delete statement. So imagine in this wardrobe right now, there are certain things you don't want in there. For example, let's say you don't want these shoes anymore, right? So what you're going to do in SQL is to go through this wardrobe and remove, you're going to selectively take out the things that you don't need. And in our case, we don't want the shoes anymore, or let's be more specific and say we don't want the black shoes, right? So when we come into this cupboard, we're just going to remove all of the black shoes. And we can also use that here. We say we don't want these red circles anymore, right? So we'll just come in here and remove just the red circles. But the structure, this rectangle remains, as well as other items, which is this and this. The square and the triangle remains, right? And also for this cupboard or for this wardrobe, every other thing remains. The structure of the wardrobe remains, as well as other items in it, such as these, the gift bags, the shirts, and every other thing remains. And this is how it is in SQL. When you delete something, the structure of the table remains, and other things that you did not delete remains. Okay, so now I'm just going to head over to SQL right now. We're going to practicalize it. Now we're in our SQL, and here I have a table called Fenty Beauty, and yes, it's Fenty Beauty by Rihanna. And now look at what we have, right? So for example, we can see that there are some quantities that are 2, there are 3, there are 4. We have like few 4s. Okay, I think we have like 2 4s. Yeah, we have 2. So now let's say we want to delete the rows that have this 4, right? We don't want them. We just want 1, 2, 3, and 5. And now this is how this delete is done. So we're going to say delete from where? Where are we deleting from? The table Fenty Beauty. So this is the key now. The key is you have to state a condition. All right, because if you just say delete from Fenty Beauty, it's not going to work. Just the way we said we wanted to delete those red circles or the black shoes specifically, we also have to want to delete something specifically in here, which is the quantity that has 4 in it. So we're going to say where so let's run this. And you can see 2 rows affected successfully. So let us go back and view our table. And if we look now, we're not going to see any 4. All right, so this is how you delete something in SQL. You delete selective items and state a condition to be met for this delete to work. And just the same way the 4 has been deleted, also our circle has been deleted. I erased it, but you guys get the joke, right? All right, so next now is to truncate. Now for truncate is a little bit different, but listen, it's quite interesting. So, we've removed our black shoes now. And in this cupboard, say you know what, you're tired of all these clothes. You've had them for like forever, for like 10 years going. And you say, you know what, maybe I need a fresh start, right? I'm tired of all these clothes and I want to remove all of them at once. Do you understand? So you're going to pack all the clothes, all the gift bags, the shoes, everything is going to go. But the wardrobe structure is going to remain. So we're just going to have an empty wardrobe. Everything is going to be stuck naked. In the same vein, everything in this little triangle that I drew here is going to go. So that is the same thing we're going to do with this table. Okay, now let's go into SQL and let us visualize that. Okay guys, so we are here in our SQL, and before we go ahead with truncating, I already created a copy table. Okay, so I would still have the data. So what I just did is select all into this new copy table, which is Fenty Beauty copy from our normal table. So right now we can go ahead to truncate this normal Fenty Beauty table. And in order to truncate, all you have to do is say truncate table and you put the table name. But before we truncate that, let us just view our data so this is what we have. We have 38 rows in this data set, okay, in this table. All right, so now let us go truncate it, and let me just copy this. I'm going to come down here and just paste it, but so this is with truncating Fenty Beauty. Truncate and drop table only when it is necessary, please. Now you can say command has been completed successfully. Now, if we are to view our Fenty Beauty, obviously we don't have anything. But this is where I told you that the structure still remains. Now, can you see the structure? Can you see the order ID, the order date, column name? The structure, that is the columns, everything still remains. In that same way, that is how in the cupboard, we're going to remove every single thing. The cupboard is going to be empty, but the cupboard structure, the wardrobe structure is going to remain. So we can just easily insert values into it, or I can also copy this one in Fenty Beauty copy and put it in here. So now you can see there is nothing in here anymore, right? We have removed all of these, but you can see the triangle still remains, the structure still remains, but we have removed every other thing. There is nothing inside. Now this leads us to the third and final part, which is the drop table. So if you're still watching this video, it means you're gaining value from it. So please take out the time to hit on the subscribe button. This is how you encourage me to make more beautiful videos like this, and also like this video so YouTube shows it to other people who could be needing this video. Thank you guys. So let's get back to learning. That is the big guy. That is like the biggest guy, the main guy. You don't want to toy with that kind of guy if you don't have a spare table or a copy table. In fact, if you're new in SQL, do not drop any table, okay? So because if there is no backup, you're done for, literally. You're tired of this whole space, of this kind of wardrobe. In fact, you don't even want to have this thing in this room again. You probably want to change this room to your office, or you want to do something else with this room, and you don't even want to see this cupboard anymore. You just want to throw it away, or you want to sell it. The point is, this thing is not going to be here. This cupboard, all of these things are not going to be here. Both the clothes and the wood, the structure, every single thing is not going to be here. That is when we use the drop statement. So for example, now when I drop, I am not going to have this rectangle, right? So if I drop, that means everything here is being deleted. So I just have like what? It's just like an empty slate. It's like it never happened, right? So that's what happens when you drop a table. Let's head over to our SQL and see that in action, okay? So now I'm just going to remove the truncate. Remember, in this truncate, we have the structures, which you can see here. So I'm going to remove this truncate and I'm just going to put drop table, right? So let us run this, and command completed successfully. Now, let us try and go and select from that table and see. Invalid object name. This does not exist. Do you understand? The magnitude of dropping a table. So it tells you that it is an invalid object, Fenty Beauty, because it literally does not exist. You wiped it off from the surface of the database, from the memory of the database. So there is nothing like Fenty Beauty in the database. And this is why it is telling you invalid object. So guys, I hope with this explanation, you've been able to grasp what the delete, the truncate, and the drop table function does. For one, condition has to be met, which is in deleting, a condition has to be met. For truncating, you remove every single thing in that table, but the table structure still remains. Okay, that is why we could see the column name. If we had any foreign key and primary key and whatnot, all of those things stays. Okay, and for dropping table, which is like the main master itself, you lose everything. The structures, the things inside, everything is going to go. You're removing it from the database itself, which is why you have to drop table carefully. You have to be sure that you really want to drop it before you drop it. Okay, so let me know in the comment section if you really understood this, and I'm going to see you in my next video. Bye for now.